Hey there guys, it is the Rockress here. I know, where have I been? I will explain all this in due time, but today I'm trying to come back strong, I think. I've got a kind of different type of video for us today. Now, for those who don't know, I absolutely love my farming simulator games, i.e. Farming Simulator, Harvest Moon, and today's game, Stardew Valley. Now, I own both on PS4 and PC, with me clocking in around about 80 hours or so into the PS4 version, and I'm on to my third year now, as a matter of fact. But it wasn't the smoothest starts on either console. Multiple restarts. So I'd done what I thought was best at the time and turned to strategy and tip guides. You know, top 5 beginners tips or top 10 beginners tips, or things I wish I knew beforehand videos. And yeah, okay, they were good, but after exploring on my own and trying different things, I found that some of the points didn't work for me. So today I thought I would try something a little new and share some of my own tips and strategies that worked for me. Now, I'm only going to focus on the first season that you start in on Stardew Valley, which is spring. Now, by no means is this me bragging about being Stardew master or my knowledge on the game, because even I'm still learning a lot to do with it, or by no means is this a definitive master guide on how to win the game. This is just me trying to help you guys and girls out and potentially getting a better start in the game. So by all means, if you disagree with me, if you think I missed something, or have any other suggestions on other points I might have missed, I'd love to hear them in the comments below, because who knows, if I get enough points or enough counter arguments, I may be able to make a part 2. So I thought in this video I would stick to 5 main points that really focus on the first 5 or 7 days. It depends on how quick you do it in Stardew Valley. And with these tips you can then take them into the other seasons and work a little and find your own rhythm with it. So, with that being said, grab your watering can, grab your hoe, and let's get planting. Now, the first point that I'm going to make might contradict a lot of the other tips and strategy guides. I'm just going to quickly pause this just now because I'm wary of the time, and I'll get to that in a second. In the other videos they will suggest that you buy all the seeds that you're going to plant for the season right away. Now, I have a slightly different take on it, and I'll explain why. In this box here you are given 15 parsnip seeds, as you can see here. And as you can also see around here, there, you have 500 gold. Now, early game you're going to have to make that 500 gold work for you, because money for the first week or 2 is so vital to raise and to keep. So we're going to head down to Pierre's store, as you can see from the gameplay footage here, and the store, just like regular, opens at 9 AM. So with your limited funds, which I would recommend, as you can see, you've got all manner of seeds that from for all different kinds of produce, shall we say, that's the word I'm thinking of. Now, as you can see, some of them are a lot more expensive, which means that you'll get the better gold after a harvest. Now, each seed has its kind of ready time, shall we say, and so what I would recommend is, or what worked for me, shall I say, anyway, before MD kind of takes me on my word, but what worked for me and could potentially work for you is if you buy 5 bean starters, okay? Now they take 10 days to harvest, and even though you've spent £300 or 300 gold in this case on the seeds, and you will get 200 gold back off of the first harvest. Now, I know what you're going to say, Rocket Race, that sounds like a loss, but it continues to yield multiple beans even after the first 10 days. So, after the first 10 days, 3 days later, it's going to have other beans. So it's always going to be another 200 gold. So that's more profit after that. Anything else after the first kind of 1.5 harvest out of it, it's only going to be profit, which again sounds good in my book. And what I would also recommend doing is buying 5 parsnip seeds to make it up to the 20, because when you plant and harvest the parsnip seeds, now parsnip seeds are ready to harvest after 4 days. If you ship all 20, you will get 700 gold back after the harvest. So when you think that 15 of your seeds were free, that's 600 profit right away over your measly kind of 100. So it's one of these ones that money, again, I cannot stress how important the money is. So stick with this for your first couple of days, and you'll definitely be set, or should be set anyway. Now, my second point would be a kind of redundant one, but you will thank me later. In the early times of waiting for your crops to grow, you're going to need to raise as much money as possible in between the harvest times. Now this is where things like these come in. These are daffodils. I always get them mixed up because there's another one in the game as well called dandelion. But yeah, if you pick up the daffodils, dandelions, and any other wild fruits and veg that you might find, you can ship them like crops and actually make a quick buck off of them. Now you're looking at only about 160 to potentially 200 gold starting game, but when you think that that's 200 gold that you didn't have before, or whatever the number may be, it all builds up. And as I stated, money is so important in this game to start off or get the best start to the game, that yeah, you need to do everything you can to ship these items and well, find and forage them and then ship them. Now foraging comes with other benefits like able to collect seeds from trees, so you can replant them. You also get better with the axe and things as time goes on, so it's really worthwhile. But I would also make the point to say, this grass that I'm standing in right now, do not go near it until you have the silo, as the silo, it will turn this grass into hay for the inevitable shall I say, when you get animals, because that's their feed, that's the fodder. So it saves you from buying it. So yeah, keep this grass. You can chop down these kind of the hedges here for the fibre, as you need that for some of the recipes. I would also recommend cutting down a couple of trees to start with, so that you can build the chest. You can build the chest with 50 pieces of wood, and because you're limited to 12 bag space, I would say they're two of the most important kind of start things. So that was like a little bonus point. Forage any wild fruits, veg and plant life that you may find, and 2, maximise your storage on the farm to begin with, and you just ship all the crops into this box here, any crops, even these when they grow, and yeah, you'll be getting some money. If I have time, we'll flash forward to the results screen when you get to ship all the crops. Now, point 3 in this guide would focus on and around getting the fishing rod from Vally the fisherman from day 2 in the game. Now, the fisherman game can appear pretty difficult at first, but I implore you, stick with it, because if you use it in conjunction with sorry, I'm trying to concentrate on this little minigame now. If you mix it in with the foraging in the early game, you'll get, depending on what you find, forage or fish, you can get about 300 odd gold, maybe more depending on what you find. So it's going to be worthwhile to remember that. Moving forward. Now, you can fish in any kind of ponds, lakes, rivers or oceans, and as I said, the more money you have makes point 4 coming up a heck of a lot easier. Now, after it's seeming to be that I've ranted on for the better part of 5 or so minutes talking about how vital money is. Now, as you can see, I'm a little later. It just took a little longer to get the money than I thought, because I had forgot to water the crops on the first couple of days, so that was my bad. But as you can see, we're in Pierre's store, and he's actually got a backpack upgrade for 2,000 gold, so that's point 4. Bag space is key. Now, this upgrade will give you 24 slots instead of the 12. Now, I know you're going to say 2,000 gold is a lot of money, and you're right. Yes, that's totally get you. But that also doubles your space for the amount that you can forage, farm and fish, which you can then ship at the end of the day. So you can double whatever you were making beforehand, maybe even triple it if you work it right. Now, the next upgrade above this is 10,000, but then you get I think it would be 24, 36 slots. And trust me, you're gonna be glad late game that you upgraded early and just kind of focused on that. Now, if it seems like I'm rushing these points, I do apologise, but it seemed this recording isn't seeming to go too well, so I do apologise. But these are just some of the key points that we want to get to, so we're just going to quickly go on to number 5. So yeah, going on to point 5, from day 5 onwards, you get a letter from the Joja Mart, the kind of bad corporation within the game, saying that the access to the mines is open. So I've dubbed this next segment, you need to go deeper, because when the mine is open, you're able to then access all manner of ores. Now again, I'm going to skip by story elements, but now we have a sword, which I'm actually just gonna move about slightly for convenience later on. Yeah, so the mines, now you have to come in through this ladder here, and it just looks like any other kind of mine. You can bust these rocks open with the pickaxe. You find ways down through them. Sometimes they're just out in the world as well. Now sometimes, as you'll see, you'll get copper and coal from the rocks, but you also gain access to all sorts of varying treasures and minerals. Now, treasures you actually send to the museum to start with, as the curator there, he's lost all the treasures and you're helping him kind of rebuild the treasures. But any other kind of minerals and things as well, go there just to kind of show what the town's really kind of made of. And then after that, most of these countdown lists that we spoke about would actually say keep the minerals for maybe something later on. What I would say is, after you've because as you'll see here, it says look, I've got topaz, and it says Gunther can tell you more about this if you donate it to the museum. Same with the amethyst. What I would say is, the more of that you find, I would sell it instantly for the early game. Anyway, you don't have any access to any recipes that need them at the moment, and the more you have to explore the mine for ores later on, the more comfortable you'll be within the mine, i.e. exploring and fighting, which means eventually you will be kind of tripping up over yourself over the amount of ore and stuff that you need. Like, in a game where you think copper ore would be pretty valuable, I only need it if I need to craft like a lower recipe or crafting item. I haven't really had much use for it. And it's the same as quartz. You only need sometimes a refined quartz bar, but you don't need it like right at the start of the game. And the deeper you go down in the mines, now this is something that I was actually hoping to bring up, and that's within the mine as well you find geodes. Now you have all manners of geodes, big ones, small ones, ones that look like tears. It's really cool. Now you take these to the local blacksmith, who, as it says here, will open it for you. Now to open up a geode you need 25 gold per geode. So if you think that you're not going to have enough to crack open them all, maybe only crack open a couple. And see what you can get. Now you can get all manners of, again, minerals, coal, stone, whatever, within the topazes. Later, in better topazes, like the geodes even, the omni geode, you can actually sometimes get rarer items, but it still will only cost you 25 gold to crack them open. But again, I wouldn't recommend keeping a lot of minerals or anything on you or in your chest, as it's a bit redundant at the start of the game, because eventually you'll get a quest that it says reach level 5 in the mines. Now once you reach level 5, if you want to leave the mine you can go straight to the ladder, but after every 5 levels the elevator starts working, and then you can go down subsequently 5 floors each time, so 5, 10, 15, all the way down to the bottom. Now on the PS4 I've been all the way down to the bottom, so I know how many floors there are, but if you want to know, you have to play the game or cheat and look it up online. Now, the more you donate to the museum, the better furniture you'll get for your house. You'll get like varying access to rewards like chairs, paintings, statues, etc. And yeah, so it works in that regard. But as I said from the start of the game, I would just highly recommend just selling them, because again, you need all the money you can get to get those better upgrades, shall we say, like the extended backpack. Now already from some treasure chests I found and some other other things, I've got quite a wee bit of things already that I can already throw to Gunther and really just kind of move on with. So yeah, again, it's entirely up to you, but this is just what I would do personally. So now, as I've stated at the that's a story on it. Now, as I've stated at the start of this video, these tips won't work for everybody. This is just some of the points that helped me kind of amass quite a fortune over the time. As you can see, I've got over 1,000 already just by following some of the smaller tips. Now I can then go on and buy maybe say 5 cauliflower and get a bigger profit out of that. But you know, I'm gonna try and cut you a deal. What I'll say is, if I've helped you in any way with some of these points, in any way, shape or form, how's about you drop a like on this video and then leave a comment on what point you think was the most worthwhile, or again if you disagreed, think I've missed out, you know. And then if this gets enough attention, I'll make a second part, but I'll look at some of the other gameplay aspects like the community centre and other aspects of farm living. Maybe I'll have a look at the relationships in the town and things. But so how's that for a deal? If you can slap a like on this, I will try my best to get a newer video up on some of the more intermediate gameplay aspects. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching, thank you for putting up with this. This has probably been one of the toughest videos because nothing wanted to work. It's 2:30 in the morning and I've been trying to kind of get something on video for you most of the day so far. So thank you for listening to me ramble on as well. Even though I really should be going to my bed, I'm thinking I'm going to play some more Stardew. So yeah, I have been the Rocker S. You guys have been awesome, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye guys.